Well, we're finally doing a video I never wanted to try.
Does anyone here have step-parents? Yes. They get a bad rap.
Today we're doing stand-up comedy. Fuck.
Everyone is clearly incredibly nervous.
I haven't been this nervous for a performance in a really long time.
Less than 2 days to come up with a comedy routine, write it, refine it, and put it on in front of a bunch of strangers. Things about me that you need to know about me that are funny. Fucking amen.
A portion of today's video is brought to you by Neutrogena Hydro Boost Plus.
Today we are learning stand-up comedy, and at the end of this, we are all going to have to put on a stand-up comedy show.
Are you excited to see the Try Guys? Oh my gosh!
You always get nervous doing something you've never done before in front of a crowd. What if you forget? What if you fuck up? What if you suck? I think that's the biggest fear of doing stand-up, is that you're gonna suck and there's gonna be nobody else there to take the blame. This portion of today's video is brought to you by Neutrogena Hydro Boost Plus. At the end of this week, we're gonna be doing stand-up for the first time, and we're gonna be vulnerable. You know, our jokes may not be the best, but we want our faces to look their best. So every day this week, we're gonna be using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Plus serum.
It's formulated with dermatologist recommended ingredients like niacinamide, a skin-nourishing vitamin B3. It's a skin conditioner that's clinically shown to improve skin tone and radiance.
We're gonna have that beautiful glow.
And hyaluronic acid, an essential hydrator found naturally in your skin that binds to water and holds it within your skin's surface.
Neutrogena's Hydro Boost Plus will leave your skin with a clear-looking complexion and tone.
Like this tone. Clear. Clearly refines the look of pores and dark spots.
Let's try a little squirt, shall we?
No, you gotta twist it down. Ooh, it smells nice.
Do you rub it or do you pat it?
A serum, I think you get to rub.
I think you could do both. I like to pat.
It feels very nice and silky.
It feels like thick water.
Oh my God, my hands are so soft.
Yeah, they feel
good.
Yeah.
What's great about this serum is that it will boost your hydration, but it's also really great on sensitive skin or acne-prone skin. I myself have very sensitive skin, so I'm very careful of the products. This works out great for me. We'll be using it every day up to our stand-up performance, and hopefully by then, our skin will be so glowing, we won't even need a spotlight.
Click the link in the description to find out where you can get Hydro Boost Plus and start your own skin journey.
Time to get started on your glow journey.
Thanks to Neutrogena Hydro Boost Plus for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's get back to the laughs.
Out of everyone in entertainment or media, I always think the two toughest jobs are stand-up and porn. And I would much rather do porn than stand-up, because at least I know how to finish.
Teaching us today, we have Judith Shelton. She is a professional comedian and a professional stand-up teacher. She teaches people how to do stand-up. So what is comedy?
Wow! Okay. There's a lot of things involved, element of surprise, hyperbole, risk, but I think it's anytime something makes us laugh. So this is the mic and stand as you are most likely familiar with. As a comedian, you want to have a very good, easy flowing relationship with this, because if you're nervous, right away the audience goes, ah gosh, that's a green comic. But if you want to look bitchin', you take the mic out of the stand and move the mic away. You're gonna do 2 minutes for me, just 2 minutes. I'm gonna have you improvise. Who would like to go first?
I don't know what it is about stand-up that just scares the fuck out of me. This is edited. I can stumble, I can fumble, I can We do it again. See, even that we're gonna get rid of it.
Let's bring out Zach Kornfeld.
When you're on stage, it's just you and the audience, and you can't up.
Okay, I'm up on stage. Hi, how's it going? What are we talking about?
Something we should know about you.
Stand-up comedy, no matter what it is always a competition. And I didn't like that environment. And I switched to improv comedy where everybody's basically playing pretend, and that was way more my speed. I got a lot of hand-me-downs in terms of clothes, but my body fought back. I got bigger than my brothers. And then they had to buy me stuff.
I probably, out of all the Try Guys, have the least traditional comedy experience. Like if you asked me to go to a improv or stand-up show, I would say, no thank you. God.
The audience is nervous for comedians. Get to the jokes right away. If you come out with a joke right up top, you're telling your audience, don't worry, I know how to do this.
It just feels bad. I feel like my brain immediately goes to, oh, you know, the marginalized things like being gay and Asian, which obviously, if you've seen our videos, I'm the Asian one because I can swim the fastest.
I love comedy. I've always loved comedy. I love jokes. I love telling them. I love writing them. I love the craft of it. When I moved to Los Angeles, I actually worked at a stand-up show. I saw some of the greatest comedians in the world workshopping their stuff. I mean, people who you've never heard of, who are funnier than the people you have heard of. And I said, I want to do that. I'm too scared to do that. And I never tried it.
You ever, when you were a kid, walk in on your parents having sex and go, good for them, I'm glad there's still love in the relationship. That was the only one I had locked and loaded.
With stand-up, there is some preparation. I mean, we're talking months and years of preparation to get a good set.
You know, I'd say my whole childhood was searching for what I was good at, and I am still looking.
I failed coming out to all of my parents. I remember coming out to my mom, and I made her guess. I made my mom guess what was wrong with me.
But I guess something you should know about me is that about the age of 7, my parents just stopped saying I love you. They still love me.
If the audience feels sympathy in, if you hear awe, you've lost them.
And I didn't even know that wasn't a thing that wasn't common until I met my wife's parents. And they say I love you to me.
So I don't tell this story often, but it took her about an hour, and by the end of it, she'd guessed everything under the sun.
I wanted people to think I was cool, so comic books, movies, you know, things cool kids do.
Stand-up is completely self-driven. It's really that ability to be hated, you know, and then get up again and do it again and again.
We don't talk about poop, I think, nearly enough. And I didn't know that my poop was weird. And act frankly, until I met Keith.
My friend Jared, he says I love you every time we walk away from each other. I'm like, guess I love you too. I thought that love was really something you had to earn on the 6th date in high school.
The same with my dad. My dad, he heard from my mom. My mom told my dad, and he sat me down, and he, instead of talking about being gay, warned me as a doctor about what he's seen with quote-unquote anal elasticity.
I would regularly go 5-6 days without pooping and just be a bloat monster. And then I met Keith, and he poops like 5 times a day.
Stand-up is a dialogue, not a monologue. You have to be porous. You have to take in your audience.
Between the two of us, something is off. One of us is very wrong here.
I'll tell you, for me, what's joyful about it is I can say things that I can't say other places.
Funny enough, I have to tell people that I'm the gay one, because when you hear and see us, you think they're the ones who suck.
And you just feel amazing when you yourself and your ideas and your crazy whims can make a whole room laugh.
But the idea of having something that is important enough to say, to demand your attention, is daunting. And when I find it, I will let you know. Thank you. This has been my time. I'm Zach Kornfeld. Don't forget to sip your wit.
Now you're going to have the opportunity to rewrite it, to add things you want to add, take things out you want to take out. I want you to listen to it, write it down somewhere. And in the transcribing, you're going to make it better. If it's not perfect and you feel you can make it perfect, make it perfect. If it's something you're like, nah, don't even hesitate, let it go, and just bring up what you love.
So we are actually filming a Try Guys stand-up comedy video.
Mm-hmm.
Like now.
Right now.
Like we just filmed the lesson.
Yeah.
And we have to do a set Friday.
Shit.
I think I can do it.
Yeah, of course you can do it.
Uh-huh.
You write jokes all the time. All you're doing is just saying the jokes that you wrote down.
I'm going through my stand-up right now and just reading it back, and when you read it without any context, I could definitely see how maybe my parents who are watching this later will think that I don't think they love me. I think you do. I know you do. I mean, but this is a stand-up bit, so just so it's said.
So I'm here, I'm doing my homework. I'd say my whole childhood was searching for what I was good at, and I am still looking. It's late and I have to go to bed, but we only have so long to do this. Hey, here we are.
It was very hard to actually go through, listen to what you did, write new jokes in there, get it to the right time. I wish there was just a big clock above the audience that had a 5 down to 1 so I could constantly adjust my pace.
Okay, let's see how this times out. We had 2 days to prepare. I was working the entire time and did not write anything. But this morning, I've been writing furiously, trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do on stage.
I don't know that this is the best material that I could create. I sharded during yoga this morning. Don't worry, the class wasn't that big. But it's what I started with, and I'm gonna try and honor the process and fulfill it, see it through to the end. Now that you're here, I am definitely more in my head. This is good.
Hi guys, how are you? How you feeling?
I guess my biggest fear is that when I get excited, I get anxious. When I get anxious, I talk more and I faster, and then I'm not present.
If you start racing, and that's super duper normal, turn away from your audience and walk for a bit. It's okay, you don't have to talk every minute. You can take your time.
Yeah, you ever poop so much that you relive your childhood?
It's true. There's no money left for you. You were a surprise baby. You weren't in the budget.
Yeah, the South is very polite. Politeness I like to call the Disney Plus version of suppression.
What if we have the opposite problem? I feel like I naturally slow down and pause. So I just ran it for the first time and it's 10 minutes.
I would say cut some material. Go with your very best. It's sort of like minimizing your home. Like the only things in your set should be things you love.
The show is in. It's in 15 minutes. Oh, it's actually 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. I am freaking out because I feel totally unprepared.
The crowd is filing in. They are here. This is it. I'm very anxious. This is something that has scared the shit out of me for a long time.
I'm just excited. I love performing.
I'm really happy you're here. Are you excited to see the Try Guys? Oh my gosh! Now here's the crazy thing. They're getting on stage with material that they've put together in about 2.5 hours. Don't be easy on them. Don't be easy on them.
This has been something I've been afraid of my whole life. I'm glad I'm here, but I am terrified.
Let's bring out Zach Kornfeld.
I just, at this point, I hope my brain doesn't freeze. There's something about an audience that just changes things. You have it sharp and then... Did you ever, when you were a kid, walk in on your parents having sex and go, good for them, I'm glad there's still love in the relationship? No, come on, that's where you came from. It's a beautiful thing. I want you to picture me right now, your parents are really going at it, okay? So mom is on top, she's pumping gas like it's still $3 a gallon. And then, this is where life comes from, It's beautiful, we should all be grateful. I wasn't the happiest child, not because I saw my parents having sex. That part was awesome. But I wouldn't say I was the happiest. Was anyone were you good at stuff as a kid? Did you have that thing that you were good at? No, all right, you. Not me, man. I wasn't. I was bad. I was bad at everything, and it was really anxiety-inducing. It still is. I remember being so ashamed, fearful that I would look bad. So I was in baseball, playing baseball, and praying, literally standing in the outfield, praying to a God that I do not believe in, and who clearly does not believe in me. I look like I got paused during puberty. I have the beard, but it's not fooling anyone. And I would pray that if I could just go just one game without the ball coming to me, I'd go full Jew. All the way. I would make Larry David look like Mel Gibson. I would be so Jewish, I'd be sneezing out gold coins. J.K. Rowling would write me as one of her bankers. I would go so Jewish that I would oppress the Palestinian people and still somehow paint myself a victim. Who laughed? We're gonna talk after the show. I will not tolerate that, not in my town. No room for anti-Semitism here. I lost you. And I'm okay with that. I tried Jesus a few times. Fucker left me on red. Holy ghosted me. I like Jesus. I've always been jealous of Jesus. He's new God, right? It's like when a cereal has a spin-off, he's like the oops all berries of religion. I was a depressed kid, which you might not tell from my getup. I kind of look more like a drug dealer on Arthur. Maybe? Okay. Therapy for kids, they don't want you to know you're at therapy. They're trying to trick you, right? So you play games which is awesome. It's way more fun than adult therapy, equally as ineffective. I think she's trying to get at my psyche to find out if I'm one of those white kids. We gotta talk about it, blonde children. They're scared. You get your kid into therapy from age 2, all right? You gotta protect all of us. You do not get to choose your memories, you don't. But with luck, you will be thinking about your parents fucking every time you pump gas. Thank you so much.
I haven't been this nervous for a performance in a really long time. Like, if you were about to put me on stage to do a whole song and dance number in front of thousands of people, piece of cake. But whatever this room is for a stand-up routine, I am shitting my pants.
I thought stand-up was being funny and making jokes, but our beautiful teacher Jude said, it's not a monologue, it's having a dialogue. Good communication skills. My single character flaw. Seriously, I don't smile very easily. I'm not told that I'm the nicest person in the room. The first time that someone told me to talk dirty and mean to them in bed, I replied, "You need braces." Seriously, it was like a Demogorgon, just rows of Shark Week teeth. But both being Southern and Asian taught me that politeness is paramount. So you can imagine being Southern and Asian, one of the most difficult things for me to express or communicate was coming out. And when I was 18, I first came out to my mom. She asked me what was wrong, and I responded, "Guess?" So she spent 3 hours guessing everything from, did you fail a class? Are you worried about college? Is someone bullying you? All the way to, oh my God, you killed someone? You're with a girl. You're with a girl? You got her pregnant. You got 3 girls pregnant. So she first thought that I had 3 teenage pregnancies before even fathoming that I was the gay. Then she told my dad, and another failure in communication, he decided not to talk about my identity, but instead sat me down and opened up a medical journal to discuss the importance of anal elasticity. Joke's on him, because the gayest thing you can talk about is my butthole. You know, we didn't talk about it again for about over a decade. A lot of that is from, fear and this idea that my long-term boyfriend was referred to as my roommate. I was like Cary fucking Grant. Just 2 bachelors and a swinging pad. Loving interior design and eating ass. Nothing to see here, folks. But one person we were really concerned about was my stepfather. We didn't know where he landed on the homophobia scale. But my stepdad, he actually recently found out that I was gay, and he eventually came around. But unfortunately, pretty soon after that, he passed from a surprise cancer diagnosis. So the moral of the story is that he would rather die from cancer than talk to me about being gay. No, but seriously, he would have loved that joke. And he did pass from colon cancer stage 4 at the height of the first wave of COVID, which was kind of a little awkward telling people because it wasn't the popular way to go at the time. It's like telling someone I lost everything in the hurricane from a burglar. But we had to fly to Seoul for the funeral. And one very bizarre thing about Korea is that there's these funeral rites that happen 3 days of mourning where you're forced to openly wail and weep in public. Sometimes this idea of effective communication and open emotions can be just fake, performative bullshit. That's why all serial killers are so polite. And so even though we couldn't cry for 3 days straight, it didn't mean we loved him any less, we just loved him differently. Because the last time, honestly, I cried for 3 days straight was when I got head from the Demogorgon. Like, seriously, he really needed braces. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience.
There is just nothing to me as satisfying as like making jokes, making eye contact with audience members, seeing them laugh or seeing them not laugh and figuring out how to make them laugh. for everybody so far. Crushing it. Such a great show. This has been so much fun, so great. I need to tell you something, though. When I was about 6 years old, my parents stopped telling me they loved me. But they also stopped telling each other that they loved each other. My whole household just stopped saying, I love you. We just sort of stopped. And I grew up from 6 years old on, which is like most of your life, thinking, yeah, like, that's normal. We didn't say it when I went to bed. When I went to college, they said, have fun. Even now, like, most people, I think they say it to their parents at the end of a phone call, right? You say, goodbye, I love you, and you hang up. The phone calls with my parents literally always end with, see you later. My mom is like in the Wild West, quick to the draw with hanging up that phone. I have never had the phone hung up on me like without any meanness so fast. There's nothing callous. It's just, see you later. It's just been my whole life. In fact, it's weird for me now when people do say I love you, other than my wife, Becky. That's normal because I love her too. It was weird for me when I started dating Becky because her whole family does say I love you all the time, and that was odd. But it was really weird when we had dated for a while and her parents started saying I love you to me. Oh, okay. I love you. And it was sort of flirtatious, not the vibe I was going for. My friends say I love you when they leave. They say, oh, see you later, buddy. Love you. I'm like, oh, okay. I love you too. I was just talking about my brothers because it happened, like I told you, they stopped saying I love you when I was 6. But it was because they did it out of love. My brothers at the ages of 10 and 12 said, please stop saying I love you. It's embarrassing. But I was 6. And I was the third boy. I was the extra child, and I was only getting hand-me-downs. So when you're only getting like your brother's old Junko jeans and like an Aphex Twin t-shirt, and you don't know who the hell that is, and now you're wearing it, and then your teacher's like, you like Aphex Twin? I'm like, I'm 7. And then you find out later that you were an accident. And when all those times your parents said there wasn't any money left for you, you realize you weren't budgeted for. So all those things kind of compound, and maybe you feel like they don't love you, but I think they do. Oh, I know they love me. They don't have to say it. I'm fine. I know. They know I love them, and I know they love me. But I should say, because they're going to watch this, and we'll have to talk about it, but I'll take this moment right now to look into the camera right there and say, Mom, Dad, see you later!
It made me want to do it again because as you see your act, you think about how you can do things differently. It wasn't perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's a living, breathing thing.
I definitely had a little moment in the middle where I didn't know where I was going. Don't know if they noticed. Hey, you know what? Don't care. Had a great time.
Oh, getting a laugh is great. It is like getting a hug from your parents. For me, that was rare.
And I swear I saw you almost smile a couple of times. I saw a little bit there.
I will not do this again.
What do you call your aunt in a purple state? Neutrogena.
Everyone's trying to get Neutrogina's vote.